Hey guys, this is Eddie and this is another edition of On Board. So we're on the water on my son's boat and we're going to be putting in a temperature gauge because he does not have one. That drives me a little crazy. I'm always looking at my temperature gauge and he expects the same thing. So we're going to take out the depth finder, which is right here, and replace it with this temperature gauge that comes with the sending unit already. So we're going to get to work on this. We're going to have to run a wire from here back to the motor and into there. We're going to put the sending unit and then we're going to connect all the wires to hook this up. So let's get to work on this and let's see how it goes. Okay guys, I'm by the motor and I'm going to look for the spot where I need to put the sending unit in, which is going to be on the head, and there's a spot right there. Now this is Johnson and Merc. They should leave an open spot on the head. You could use one of the head bolts, but it's better, it's more recommended to find the threaded part to where the sending unit goes. So I'm gonna have to run the wire through here, under the shifter cable, out over here. And this is the wires that I ran already. I only need one. I ran an extra wire because it's not the easiest thing to get across. And what we did to do that is we took this hatch off over here. So as you can see, I got the wire through. I didn't make a video on that. It was kind of a tedious job sending the snake through here and up to the back and then pulling the wire through. So it's just something that you have to kind of figure out on your boat what the best path is to get the snake through. And we did that already because I wanted to make sure I had the wire in. I didn't have too much trouble doing this. So the wire is here and I'm going to take out this little gauge. So I don't know what tools I'll need. I'm going to have to figure this out. I'm going to get to work on this, and as I go through I'll let you know. Okay guys, so I crawled underneath and I looked to get the depth gauge out, but there's no screws or anything holding it in. It's just pretty much placed in here. It was already disconnected and cut out because the pickup isn't even on the boat, which I knew that, and the depth finder is on the GPS fish finder that we have. So that's why I'm replacing with this. So I bought one. I do need to make sure it's going to fit, which I'm pretty sure it is. So I'm just going to check that out. That looks pretty nice over there. My cameraman today is my son. He's the one that's going to be driving the boat. It's his boat. So what do you think? How's that look?
Looks pretty good.
Looks good, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's in a good spot. So we'll get that hooked up. Now there's a couple of wires that have to be hooked up on this. These two wires, negative and positive, is for the light in here. So I'm going to hook that up to my light switch. So I think they have it on navigator lights. So that's going to turn on the navigation light, and I think that's all the dash lights. I'm going to make sure there's a stereo, depth finder is this, and the pump. So obviously it's going to go on to the nav lights. That's what's going to turn that on. Okay, so we're going to get to work on that, and we'll hook up the other wires. I'm pretty sure one's going to be a ground, one's going to be a positive, and the other one is going to go to the sending unit, but I do have directions, which is going to help me out. So I make sure I do this right. Now hopefully my wire is long enough and it'll make it all the way back there and I'll be able to take care of it. So what is this saying over here? It's saying the middle one is to a battery. The S is for the sending unit, makes sense, that's S. And the plus is for the positive, which goes to the ignition switch. Okay. And that is to the negative of the battery, no problem. And the same thing, this goes to the lights. Like I said, it's the red and the black is a ground. So, gonna get to work on hooking this up. Let's hope this all works out. All right. Okay guys, I'm taking off this cover over here. Hopefully don't have to take off the cowl, which is down here, to try and snake the wire up without hitting the shifter cables so that it's and secure it somehow. Gonna need wire ties too, so I got those in the van. Did run the wires. I'm gonna use the brown one, not the red one. We'll have to tie it up where all these other ones are tied like this. I'll run another new ties on them. Go. Okay, as you can see, my hair is really long because COVID-19 is going around and I can't get a haircut. But we are practicing safe distance. This is my son. He doesn't live with me. That's recording. So, and the ducks are at least 6 feet away. Well, not ducks, the geese. The geese are 6 feet away. Yeah, they're safe. Never know. Looks like he's coming a little close. I got a mask for him. I got to put it on him. We'll make sure he's okay. Okay, so I ran the wire. Here's the wire. I ran it through here. I ran it under the battery cables. Came up around to here, and it's right over where I need it to be, over here. So I'm going to splice this end and put the sending unit in. That's my next thing I'm going to do. Alright, so I'm going to install the sending unit. I'm taking off the nut and washers, putting it someplace safe where it doesn't get lost. I got a wire fitting, so it'll go right on there, and I believe it's a 1/2 inch socket on a 1/4 inch ratchet and extension. So, making sure it fits. Looks like it does, so that's all good. And now, strip the wire. A little rough with the gloves on. I did bring a pair of bull dikes. That looks good. Alright, it's a 932, so we're just gonna tighten that up. Zoom in. Okay, that looks good. Okay guys, I ran the wire for the sending unit all the way up, and it's through the hole where I'm going to attach it to the gauge. So this one is going to go on the side that says S for sending unit, and it's going to go right here. And these things are really small. As you can see, I need glasses to get these on. Okay, just tightening it up. That should be good. Alright, that's one wire. For the sending unit, we got to hook up the positive and the negative still. So I'm making my ground wires, and I'm doing two. One's for the light, and one's for the gauge itself, for the temperature gauge. So I'm putting them 2 wires in one, and I'm going to put this big eye on so it fits on the battery terminal. And then I'm going to snake it through the hole and down. Make sure that's really tight on there. Okay. So then this is going to go down in here, and I'm going to cut the wires once I get this all set in there. Bring it down to the battery end and then connect it to the battery. Good? Yep. Okay, so now I'm going to hook up the ground wire to that terminal, and I'm going to hook the ground up to here, the yellow to this one, and the ground to the sending. So one's for the light, and one is for the gauge itself. Tighten this one up. Okay, and this one is going to this. Okay guys, it's getting real windy out here, so we're going to try and get this done as soon as we can so we could try and take a test ride, make sure the temperature is working. So what I did is I unscrewed the dash so I can get back at all the gauges and I can see what ones I want to find. And what I'm looking for right now is one that works with the lights. So someone did label these, which is really nice. So this is ignition and these are the lights. So I'm just going to make sure it's the light. I'm going to turn on the nav lights over there. I can already see it's working over here. So I'm just going to touch it, make sure. And I got power. Good. So that's going to be my light one. I'm going to hook the lights up to these. So either I could jump into this wire or just hook a connection up to this blue one right here, which is what I'm probably going to do. And then I'm looking for ignition, and on the gas one is the ignition, so I'm just going to turn the ignition on, and there's my ignition. So I'm going to hook to that side. So I should be good with everything. So, all right, I'm going to run some more wires, and then we're all set. Here's the red wire. I am going to cut this and connect it to the blue wire. Now these things I love. So this will just get the wire in there like that. And then I'm going to take my red wire and just put that in and put the red wire in here like this. Bull dikes. And squeeze just like that. Close that. Yep. Okay, I ran the wire, the positive wire that's going to go to ignition, which we're going to hook up to this purple wire right here. So once again, I got these wonderful connectors that I love. Got that all in there like that, and I'm just going to squeeze it, and it's all set to go. Flip it over, and we should be good. Okay. Now the last thing I have to do as far as the wires is I still got to hook up my grounds. So this is real simple. I'm going to come over here, loosen up the negative. Right there. A little more. Alright, turn the key on, make sure my fuel is still working good. That's good. This you can't see anything because the engine's not running. So the next step is we're going to put this together. I'm going to run the motor and watch the temperature. Looks good right here. Temperature gauge. Everything turns on. Looks good. Navi lights. The lights should work. We can't see them now. We'll put on our little fuse panel that we took off. Like that. That's good. Alright, let's start this baby up. Okay, we have the engine running. Now we're just going to let it run up the temperature, and see if our gauge works. Which is going to take a little time before it goes. So we'll let it run, and then get back to you. We'll take it for a ride, see the temperature, how it goes, so we know what temperature this runs at. You know, my boat runs at 175. I think this is going to run cooler than that. I don't know what the thermostat is on this. I gotta check the specs on it, but probably going to be 150, 160, but we'll see. We'll let it run a little bit at idle, and maybe we'll take it for a ride. You guys can come with us. All right, we are pulling out of the canal. Not too much battery power left. Temperature gauge is at what? And temperature gauge is working at 165. Exactly what I said about 160, 165. Okay guys, we went for a small ride up the canal. Made sure the temperature gauge is working, everything is good. It seems to be running at about a 170. So we look good with that. Everything appears to be okay. I don't know exactly if the lights are working because it's not nighttime, but I did see it inside of there. So we're pretty good to go. I hope this helped you out. Once again, my name is Eddie. This is another edition of On Board. We'll catch you next time.